Well, the commander-in-chief looking to the faithful tonight, launching the Evangelicals for Trump coalition at a Miami megachurch just hours ago.
We know that families and churches, not Washington and bureaucrats, know best how to create strong and loving communities. Above all else, we know this. In America, we don't worship government, we worship God. All right?
The president talked about his efforts to protect persecuted religious communities here at home and abroad, as tonight Iraqi Christians are reportedly on edge, worrying about retaliation from the Soleimani strike. Joining me now, Democratic strategist Kevin Walling, and from the Family Research Council, Tony Perkins, who was with the president at that event tonight. Welcome to you both.
Hey, Shannon, good to see you.
Okay, so you know, Tony, there's a lot of speculation about whether this is to shore up cracks in the evangelical base. Politico writing this: while Trump's religious advisors hail the president as their greatest champion since Ronald Reagan, the policies they point to, a restrictive immigration policy, appointment of anti-abortion judges, rollback of environmental regulations, and support for Israel, are often the same issues driving key religious constituencies further away from the president. Tony.
Well, I tell you, this was a great event, a great kickoff for the Evangelical Coalition. And it's hard to imagine the president would get stronger support in 2020 than he did in 2016 from evangelicals. About 84% of evangelicals voting for him. But Shannon, I have to say, I think he's going to do even better because of those policies. Yes, religious freedom being chief among them. The life issues this afternoon spoken about frequently, standing ovations for the president. The judges, he talked about that, standing ovations for that. Look, he was preaching to the choir, but the choir was singing back in with a strong voice in this rally, and I think that message is going to go out across the nation. This president is doing quite well with evangelicals, and the polling shows that. Despite what's being said, he has not lost any of his support among evangelicals. I think it's actually growing.
Okay, well, one of the things he talked about today, you mentioned the life issue. He talked about the Democratic field and about their radical, what he calls their radical position on abortion and other things that are concerning to Christians. Here's what the president said about the 2020 contenders on the other side of the ticket.
As we speak, every Democrat candidate running for president is trying to punish religious believers and silence our churches and our pastors.
Kevin, what do you make of that, and how it will play for folks who are hoping to appeal to the average American, but taking some positions the president described as radical?
Yeah, Shannon, well, it's certainly red meat for evangelicals, which is one of the most consistent bases of support of this president. It's about a third of the Republican base. So the president, I think, is smart to have this event in Miami with Tony and others, because he knows he needs their support to be successful in 2020 and to build on that support. It was anywhere between 81 to 84% in terms of exit polls against Secretary Clinton. The interesting thing to me are the younger evangelicals, millennial evangelicals, who are a little turned off, I think, with this president and his divisive language, whether it be on Twitter, probably had issues with some border policies, or a little bit more accepting of LGBT Americans in this country. So it'll be anyone's guess, I think, what they do. We know their parents are firmly in support of this president, but I'm interested to see what millennial evangelicals will do come November.
Well, and Tony, what do you make about the conversation that there is a split within the Christian or evangelical community over, you know, we think of the Christianity Today, Peace, the editorial, and all the back and forth over that. Is there a fracture there?
No, I don't think so. Look, you've had from the very beginning the never-Trumpers, who have been a very, very small part of the evangelical community speaking out against the president. They just can't they can't bring themselves to a point of saying, man, this guy's actually done what he said he was going to do, and he's done the right things when it comes to religious liberty, when it comes to the life issue, when it comes to the court. Look, I don't want to be like, I want to be careful. I don't want to be like Samson and give away the secret sauce to the strength here. But the more the president is attacked and the more that evangelicals are marginalized, the stronger the two become in coalition. So if the left wants to ensure his victory in 2020, just keep doing what they're doing. The best thing they could do, if they really wanted to win, was to back off of evangelicals, the ACLU, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and stop threatening people of faith every time they stick their heads out of the church door and marginalizing them with these attacks.
Let me bring Kevin in for a quick final word.
Sure. I agree somewhat with Tony's take on this. We cannot, on the left, demonize anyone. We got to build a big tent in order to be successful against this president in 2020 and welcome those very evangelicals who are upset with the president's rhetoric, upset with some of the president's policies, especially with the border and separating families. We got to give them a safe harbor, and we can't demonize anyone.
Okay. Kevin and Tony, thank you both. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Shannon. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
You too.